Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking those ancient stories and legends you sent over and really digging in. We want to pull out those key insights, maybe some surprising facts, those aha moments, give you a real shortcut to, getting a handle on this stuff. Our journey today goes way back, deep into China's ancient past. We're talking foundational myths, legendary heroes, and these amazing community triumphs, all drawn from these classic tales.
Exactly. And it's more than just retelling stories, right? Our goal here is to see how these big themes, creation, human grit, that collective courage, how they're actually woven right into these narratives. It's about understanding how they shape the values of a civilization. Like right from the beginning, we're looking for those deeper connections.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Starting right at the beginning, the primordial dawn. Our sources take us back to the ultimate origin story, how the universe itself began. You have to picture this sort of vast, featureless chaos, like a cosmic egg just floating there in the void. And inside, this giant Pangu, he's asleep for, what, 18,000 years?
That's the number, yeah. 18,000 years. A long nap.
Right. So when Pangu finally wakes up and stretches, C-R-A-C-K, he breaks the egg open, and that's it. The universe starts forming. The light, clear stuff floats up, becomes the heavens, the sky, and the heavy, murky stuff sinks down. That becomes the earth.
The classic separation of heaven and earth.
Exactly. And Pangu, he stands right in the middle, pushing them apart, growing taller every single day for another 18,000 years, just holding that sky up, making sure it doesn't all collapse back together.
It's such a powerful image of like active creation, isn't it? Constant effort.
It really is. And here's where it gets, well, even more interesting, I think. When Pangu finally passes away, he doesn't just vanish. His body becomes the world, his breath. That's the wind and clouds. His eyes are the sun and moon.
Wow.
Yeah, his blood flows as rivers, his bones rise up as mountains, his hair becomes all the forests and plants. And get this, even the fleas on his skin, the stories say they scattered and became the first animals and, well, people.
You know, what's fascinating, if you look at it philosophically, is how it embodies this idea that everything came from one single being. From one came everything. It's not quite like a detached creator making something separate. It's more like transformation, self-sacrifice creating the cosmos.
Ah, that's a great point. It blurs the lines.
It really does. It mirrors those later ideas in Chinese thought about the unity of everything. Humans and nature aren't separate. They're interconnected, part of the same whole.
So it really makes you think, what does this myth tell us about how ancient Chinese people saw life and death and existence itself?
Well, it seems to suggest something more cyclical, doesn't it? Or at least a sense of deep unity. Life and death aren't really absolute ends, maybe more like stages in a continuous process, a transformation within this bigger cosmic dance. That idea feels really foundational.
That's a really powerful way to frame it, creation as transformation. Okay, so Pangu establishes the cosmos through sacrifice. Our next story, Yu the Great, brings that same kind of selfless dedication down to a very human level. He's facing this huge fundamental challenge. And yeah, it's important the sources always stress he was a man, not a god, which makes what he did feel even more significant.
Absolutely. Grounded in human potential.
So the challenge. It wasn't some monster, not an army. It was the Yellow River, constantly flooding, devastating floods. Imagine year after year, villages just washed away, crops ruined, families losing everything. It was relentless.
A constant existential threat, really.
Totally. And people had tried to stop it before, built dikes and things, but nothing worked long term. But he had a different idea, a really persistent one. He spent years just traveling the land. He wasn't trying to stop the water, more like guide it. He dug all these channels, carved out paths to give the floodwaters a safe route to the sea.
Working with the flow, not just against it.
Exactly. It was this massive, painstaking effort over years and years. And the detail that really sticks with you, the legend says he worked so hard, so focused, that he passed by his own house 3 times but never went in. He was just completely dedicated to saving the people. Did you find anything in the sources about, the personal toll that must have taken?
Yeah, I mean, the sources definitely emphasize that intense focus on the greater good over personal comfort. It's staggering dedication. And connecting that to the bigger picture, Yu becomes this archetype, doesn't he? Wisdom, resilience, immense sacrifice. And that method you mentioned, guiding the water instead of just blocking it, that really reflects a core idea in early Chinese thought. Working with nature's forces, finding harmony.
Ah, okay. So it's practical, but also philosophical.
Very much so. It's problem solving that influenced thinking about governance, maybe even things like martial arts later on. That idea of yielding and redirecting energy.
Interesting. So, thinking about you and how revered he became, what virtues does this story really lift up for a society?
Well, it definitely seems to prize things like practical solutions, selfless leadership, relentless hard work for the community, and yeah, that harmony with nature. Those seem key.
That makes sense. Working with challenges, not just fighting them. Okay, so we've seen cosmic creation, we've seen this heroic human effort against nature. Now, let's shift focus a bit. From one hero to maybe the collective courage of ordinary people, this time facing an actual monster.
Nian. Ah, yes, the Nian beast, the classic.
Right. So the story goes, this creature, Nian, showed up once every year. Sharp teeth, terrifying roar, the whole deal. It would eat livestock, destroy crops, sometimes even attack villagers. People lived in dread of its return each year, just constant fear.
You can imagine the anxiety building up as that time approached.
Totally. But then someone, or maybe the community together, they made a crucial discovery. The monster had weaknesses. Turns out it was scared of the color red, hated loud noises, and couldn't stand bright lights.
The key vulnerabilities.
Exactly. So, armed with this knowledge, the villagers got smart. They worked together. The next time Nian came rampaging, they were ready. They plastered their doors with red paper, they lit up lanterns everywhere, bright lights, and they set off firecrackers, tons of noise.
A coordinated defense based on its fears. Brilliant.
And it worked. The monster was totally freaked out by the red, the light, the noise. It turned tail and fled, terrified. Never came back to that village, the story goes.
Driven away by their ingenuity.
So what does this all mean for us now? Well, that act of survival, that communal victory over fear, it turned into a celebration. What we know today as Chinese New Year, with all the red decorations, the fireworks, the lanterns, the feasts, it all started, according to this legend, as a way to scare off a monster and celebrate survival.
Yeah, what's really fascinating there is that core message. What began as survival became joy. It's such a hopeful transformation. And the Nian story, it's like a folktale about overcoming fear, not just with strength, but with smarts, with unity, right? Understanding the enemy's psychology almost.
Using its own fears against it.
Precisely. And that collective action, figuring out the weaknesses and working together, that's what births this huge cultural tradition. It's really quite profound.
It really is. From terror to a massive, joyful celebration.
And it does make you think, doesn't it? How many of our celebration of today, maybe all over the world, have these echoes of ancient fears, ancient struggles, ancient triumphs baked right into them?
That's a great point. Those threads just keep running through history. Wow, what a journey through these sources today. We went from Pangu creating the cosmos through, well, literally giving himself up,
That total transformation.
to you the great, the human hero, reshaping the land through sheer grit and smarts.
That relentless perseverance.
And finally, to those villagers facing down Nian, turning fear into this huge, vibrant festival through cleverness and community spirit.
Yeah, these stories, they really underline how those fundamental human themes, creation, perseverance, courage, they're just woven so deeply into our history across cultures. They feel timeless because, well, they speak to things we still grapple with, challenges we still face, triumphs we still celebrate.
Absolutely. So maybe a final thought for you to ponder. What wisdom from these ancient narratives, maybe Pangu's interconnectedness, or Yuni's sort of strategic resilience, or the villagers' collective smarts against Neil, and what from that might still resonate for you today? How might understanding these foundational stories, help you look at challenges or maybe even celebrate successes in your own life? Something to think about.